Tonight we're talking about snacks again, okay? And many of you have already taken quite a few of our classes. So rather than going over and detailing the nutrition part first, I'm going to be showing you guys some labels first, and then I want you guys to, it's kind of more like a quiz style. I want to see how much you guys have learned in the past session, see if you can identify healthier ingredients and whatnot, okay? So I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint. Everybody who wants to turn on their camera, that is super wonderful. It helps me to feel like I'm really talking to you. If you feel like I'm not reaching you or your questions exactly, it might be because I can't see your face. Okay, so Hack Your Snack is our class tonight. So we are going to go over how to identify healthier snacks, some fun snacks we can make at home, and then some of the steps, again, like we looked at last time, what steps can the kids help with? We want you guys to also look and see what steps the kids can help with as well. Okay, so like I said, we're going to get right into it with labels and such. Okay. So what do you guys think makes a healthy snack? We talked about this once. There was one general rule that we try to follow, but if you guys want to put in the chat your ideas of what makes a healthy snack as well, you're welcome to. Low calorie, all natural, no preservatives. Yeah, oranges, so fruit. Fruit and vegetables is always a good rule. We want to look for low sugar and low sodium. Nutritionally dense. And I like no preservatives. Someone mentioned that because with snacks, that is the most likely food that we're going to have those hydrogenated oils in, and we're going to have extra ingredients that are just used to as preservatives. And sometimes they're not our favorite. Sometimes they're not so good for us. No food dye. That's a good one, important for the children. Food dye, they found causes hyperactivity in children, even more so than sugar. Okay, beautiful, you guys. So anytime during this class, you can put in a specific one of your favorite snacks. Like if you want to start typing out, like it's a little bit more involved, you can put the whole thing in there because I know Deborah shares these with everybody. Okay, label one. So I'm not going to tell you what these snacks are. I want you guys to look at the labels for us, first of all, and then I'll see if we can guess at the very end what snack this is. Okay, so looking at we're going to look at our daily values. Okay, we're going to look at our fats, sodiums, and sugars. Okay, and then we're going to read our ingredient list. So after you guys look at that, I want you guys to tell me, and you guys can unmute for part of this if you guys want to. What surprises you about this? What do you see that looks a little more healthy, and what things look a little bit scary to you? Somebody said goldfish. That's a pretty close guess. Yeah, that's close. Okay.
There's a lot of sodium.
Mm-hmm. The sodium is really high. Yeah, that TBHQ, we can talk about that.
The high fructose corn syrup.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kim is too good. Kim knows what this is. All right. How did you know? It's cheese and peanut butter crackers. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, so our sodium is very high. Our sugars are not too bad for a snack. So that's has a lot of added sugars. Okay. And when we're looking at added sugars, we want to look for fiber. Okay. So when we see that it only has only 4 grams, that's only a teaspoon of sugar added in there. Okay. But it's only 1 gram of fiber. So that sugar, if we were to eat a bunch of these, like more than one package, that sugar would go into our blood very, very quickly. and we wouldn't have time to digest it, so it would pack on the pounds. Okay, so when we're looking for snacks with whole grains, we want to see that word whole in the front. Okay, so this is processed flour. Okay, the TBHQ. So TBHQ is an ingredient that is deemed okay in small amounts. Okay, if they feed it to mice, like lab mice, in large amounts, it can cause all kinds of cancers, all kinds of fatty liver disease, just all kinds of bad stuff. Okay, but when they put it in our food, they're going to promise to us that it's just a very small, tiny amount that's safe for us. Okay, but if we could have a snack without it, right, that would be better. They just put it in there as a preservative. Okay, so there's our peanut butter and cheese crackers. Go, Kim. Okay, so you guys immediately recognize that sodium was very high, right? So here's our rule again. We talked about this before. 20% or more is considered high for a meal. Okay, so when we're thinking about this as a snack, 13%, you're right, is still really high. Okay, anything that we have less than 5%, we don't worry about too much. Okay. So I'll let you guys look at this. We know what we want to aim low on and what we want to aim high on. Does anybody have any questions about this from last time? Okay. I don't see if it's coming in late in the chat. It's we'll look at it. Okay. So the other part, when we look at this, 20% or more is high for a meal, right? For a snack, it can be a lot lower than that. We could consider high, but it depends on this question. So how many times a day do your kids snack? So go ahead and type in the chat what we're looking at. Do your kids eat one snack when they come home from school, or did they snack about 3 or 4 times a day? 2, 3 or 4, 2 or 3. Okay. Teenagers do snack all the time. They're growing really fast. I learned that at a young age. I watched my older 2 cousins go through about $400 worth of groceries every week. 2 boys that were about 6 feet tall. Okay, so a lot of you guys are saying 2 or 3 times a day. Okay, so for this 20%, okay, if it's the stuff that we want to aim low on, 20% is going to be very high for a snack. Okay, so if it's sugar, fat, or sodium, we want to try to like go 5% or less. And for the good things, I would say 10% or higher for the good things. Okay. Okay, here we go. These are going to keep coming. There's several of them. Okay, we see the TBHQ again. Okay. Do we have a whole grain? Okay, so Jerry pointed out the partially hydrogenated oil. Okay, you guys are right. Yeah, not a whole grain because it's enriched. Okay. This partially hydrogenated soybean oil. Okay, that is what we call trans fats. Okay, and in our food, the government has told us trans fats are illegal. There are no more trans fats in our food at all, right? But here we see it on the label. Okay, how does that work? Okay, they lower enough so that if something is less than 1% up here on the label, they don't have to put it on here in the label. So they can say there's 0 grams of trans fat if it's under 1 gram. Okay, but we still see it in our food. Okay, someone's guessing gummy worms or fruit snacks. No. Okay. So again, yeah. Fruit leather. No, it's not fruit leather. Okay, so we're high on the sugar. We're at 17 grams of sugar. Okay, that's about three teaspoons of sugar or more. That's 4 teaspoons plus. Okay, we have all these artificial food colors in here. Red number 4, yellow number 6, blue number 1. Okay, there is one natural color, the turmeric. Toaster strudel, we're getting closer. Kim is smart. Is she like looking through her pantry right now? Okay. Gelatin is not bad on its own. Okay. But definitely that hydrogenated oil is one that we want to avoid. Okay. Yep. There you guys go. Pop-Tarts. Okay. Pop-Tarts have they always will have trans fats in them. I don't think that they'd make a Pop-Tart without trans fats in it. Okay. And lots of genetically modified ingredients. Genetically modified can be good or bad, right? They make genetically modified rice for children in Africa who, if they don't get enough vitamin A, they're going to go blind. Okay, so genetically modified is not always bad, all right? But it can be bad. If we don't need it, we can just leave it out because there's not enough research really behind all the side effects, okay? But it's not the worst thing. Okay. Oh, these are the snack cakes. So these are even worse. These, I believe that there is, oh no, so this does not have, oh, it does. It has partially hydrogenated vegetable oil and animal shortening. Okay, so that has, they're putting in the hydrogenated oil and animal fat. So they're not really replacing the fat with something better for you, like they used to call margarine better than fat. They're adding both in there. Okay. Again, not a whole grain. Okay. And what's kind of funny is we look at this, say the main ingredient is a whole grain. Okay. And then there's a little bit of water. Okay. And then there's a little bit of sugar. Okay. But then there's corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. Okay, so if they have 3 different types of sugar in there, is that really less sugar? Like, shouldn't it be a little, that might be more sugar than water in this snack at that point. Okay, so we know that the ingredients go from whatever's most in the food to whatever is least in the food, but sugar is sugar no matter what they call it. So all these types of sugar, I mean that there's a lot of sugar in this. They have to list them each individually. Ritz crackers, goldfish. Who said Twinkie? Little Debbie's. Yeah. Okay, so Twinkies and Little Debbie is the closest. We have these little snack cakes. Okay. This one, we're getting a little warmer here, okay? I see some corn syrup and sugar, okay? But I also see some natural colors, like vegetable and fruit juice colors. Okay, yeah, this one's a fruit snacks. Okay, so real fast quiz. How many packs of fruit snacks do your children want to eat, or do they eat without you knowing? Do they eat 1? 2? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, most kids I know can't just eat 1 fruit snack. We give them 1 and they usually try to take 2. I tend to, if I open 1 up and taste that sweetness, I'm going to eat 2 or 3. Okay, 1 to school. Okay, so this is 12 grams of sugar in 1. Okay, so that's about 3 teaspoons. Okay, they're not, it is added sugar, okay, but it also has fruit in it. So it has some vitamins and nutrients in there that they don't list on the label because labels are small in those things. Okay. Look at this one. So this one, I bet everybody can guess what's in this one. But what I want you to look, yes, raisins, is look at the sugar. Okay, so there's 20 grams of sugar in the raisins. Okay. And there's 12 in the little fruit snacks. Okay. Does that mean fruit snacks are better for us than raisins? No, I agree. I don't think so. Okay, because all you're getting in there is a real whole food. It's just grapes that are, because they're dehydrated, the sugar is condensed. Okay. That being said, I'm glad we got 2 no's on that. Do we just want to give kids 3 boxes of raisins to eat? Mhm. Okay. So what can we mix with our raisins to make that snack last a little bit longer and have that sugar go into their bodies a little bit slower? Nuts, great. Cereal. Yeah. Okay. So even when we have a dried fruit, it's a healthy snack, but when we eat it with fat, we eat it with our whole grains. Yeah, so with the granola, with the cheese, that's going to slow down that sugar and we're not going to pack on the pounds. Bananas are great. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a slide. I'm not gonna make a snack with raisins, but I'll show you a slide later with the raisins. Okay. So knowing that, so we looked at all the bad stuff now. I'll stop focusing on that. We're gonna think about some good healthy snacks. So our rule of thumb for our snacks is 1 fruit and vegetable paired with 1 other food group. Okay. So looking at these fruits and vegetables, everybody throw in the chat 1 snack idea that goes with 1 of these. You don't have to do 1 snack for each one, but pick out 1 of your favorites. Peanut butter and apple. Peanut butter celery. Banana and graham cracker. Ants on a log. Carrots and ranch. Honey, banana and honey. We're going to make a snack later with banana and honey. Yeah, so that cream cheese and celery is my favorite. I've had the cream cheese and peanut butter, but with the celery and peanut butter, but when you put that cream cheese in it, it is just delicious. Lean cheese is going to be better for you. With cheese, we do lean or less. We don't like the lean cheese. Who knows about everything but the bagel seasoning? We're going to talk about that a little bit later too. Totally a froofy thing, not needed in our pantry, but it's kind of fun. I like it. Tuna and celery. Yeah, so tuna is that high protein, healthy fats. Hummus is great. And you can make whatever flavor hummus you want. You can make it with any bean you want. You don't have to use garbanzo beans. You don't have to have the fancy tahini. It's just white beans in a blender with garlic and lemon. And you can make any kind of bean into a hummus. And guacamole. Okay, that's my favorite. Okay, I'll stop there. But you guys can keep chatting in if you want. Okay. So trail mix is a fun one. We talked about adding whole grains to those raisins to cut down that sugar. When you add fiber, you are cutting down how quickly that sugar goes into your body. So some of the whole grains that we can make our trail mix with, we can use granola, we can use Chex. Chex makes rice Chex or oat Chex, and they have very low sugar. Okay, Cheerios is also very low sugar if you get the plain one. If you get the flavored Cheerios, that sugar skyrockets right up. You might as well use Fruit Loops. Okay. So this is just a framework that we can put anything in. Aisha, she was at our class we had at Hillside, and she made hers spicy Cajun mix. So after we put all our ingredients together, we can add different flavors to it as well. So I'm going to show you this real fast. Hold on. So we're going to do this later with popcorn, but you can also do it with trail mix. So I just have this little spray bottle and it has soy sauce in it. Okay. And then I have, this is a local company that makes a spice mix. They donated this to the food bank, but it's basically just a Cajun seasoning. And so that's super yummy Chex Mix that you can get it like at a gas station. You can also make it. I just pour everything in the bag in the trail mix, and then I get a spray bottle, and they make soy sauce spray bottles. If you get Bragg's, you can use it and then refill it up again and again for soy sauce. Spray it in your bag of trail mix, add your seasoning, and then shake it up. Okay, super yummy. And we'll talk about more seasonings for trail mix later. Danielle's getting hungry. Yes. Someday we will cook in person together and we will all eat during class. It's much more fun. Okay, muffins. Muffins are my favorite. Okay, we have a muffin framework. Oh, this Cajun seasoning is Penzeys. You can make your own. I have it listed. This is pepper, onion, paprika, garlic, turmeric. And it's super good. Okay. Muffins. I know some of you have taken this class before and we talked about these, but some of us are new. So if you have a favorite muffin that you guys like to make, throw that in the chat so everyone who hasn't taken the class can see it. So at Cooking Matters, our favorite is our pineapple carrot made with a whole wheat, because that's this one up here and it's super delicious. Corn does count. So corn is a whole grain. We count corn as a whole grain, so you can put, make a cornmeal muffin as well. Another one of my favorites, so the Cooking Matters pineapple carrot, and then the Ina Garten, I'll put that in the chat, the Morning Glory muffins are made with whole grains, and you can throw anything in there. Okay, any muffins, if you don't have a muffin tin, can be made as a bread. We talked about that. If you need that handout, I can show you how to turn a muffin recipe into a bread recipe really easily. Mormon muffins are a type of bran muffin. I haven't heard of that one yet. I'll look that one up. Okay, and then along with muffins also go that you can make healthy cookies. So my mom used to always make oat cookies. Okay, we're going through these kind of quick. These are just more snack ideas. Healthy smoothies. Okay, don't forget that we can put any fruit, any vegetable. So even the vegetables we don't want our kids to see, you can hide them in there. If your child doesn't like green and they're afraid of green, we give it a new name. So our favorite name for a green juice at the preschool was dragon juice or Hulk juice. Okay, so you can make them a smoothie and name it some weird exotic name, and maybe they're likely to drink it. If you call it a spinach smoothie, does not sound as cool as a Hulk smoothie. Okay. Here's one that the kiddos can help make. Okay, so the peanut butter really helps apples stick into the wrap. Okay, these are really simple, basic recipes. Banana, apple, peanut butter, whole wheat tortilla. We're gonna make toasts later because I prefer toasts over wraps. I'm from an English family, so you guys will see that too. But any of the toasts that I make can also be made into a wrap. Here's my favorite one for the raisins. Okay, And this is super fast. This takes 5 minutes and it's super delicious. Oats, peanut butter, raisins, and honey. And you just roll them up into balls. This picture was prettier, so I included this one with the chocolate chips, but I think the raisin one or the dried cranberries taste better than the chocolate chip. I don't know why, it just adds like a different kind of sweetness to it. And if you have any of those, if you've ever gone and bought super healthy, like powders and they're sitting in your pantry and you don't know what to do with them, like you have a protein powder or something like that, or you have some flaxseed powder and you're just like, wow, this is going to expire in a month and I have no idea what to do with it. You can throw that in your smoothie and you can throw it in your oat balls. We tend to buy those things because we think they look super amazing at the health food store, and then we spend too much money on them for not using them. So if we have that stuff, we want to use it up. You have a question, Candace?
Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You
Cooking
appeared
dinner
on
is
my
just wrong.
screen when your volume was on.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to mute you, but if you want to unmute, you can. Okay. Kim's sharing more recipes. Yeah, feel free as we're talking to throw favorite recipes in there. Okay, we're all here to learn from each other. Okay, this is one that I just slice up strawberries in the morning and I put the yogurt and the sliced up strawberries on the table. And then when my kids wake up, we make the granola. Okay, so granola, super easy to make. Okay, you don't need all the fancy, like when I went to make granola this weekend, I didn't have any fancy dried fruit or any, I don't know, there's all these optional ingredients. So I just mix oats and honey, throw it in the oven for 5 minutes I spray the sheet with cooking spray so it doesn't stick. Okay, and then I mix oats and honey and stick it in the oven and set the timer for 5 minutes because it will burn if you cook it too long. Okay, set the timer for 5 minutes, stir it, set the timer for 5 more minutes or even 3 more minutes, and it should almost be done at around 10 minutes. If it's not quite done, only set the timer for 2 more minutes. So that's not something you let sit in the oven for hours. You just got to really watch it. And then you can use it to make your breakfast. And it just makes breakfast on the weekends a little bit longer and a little bit nicer and more fun when the kids have something to do and I have less to do. Okay. I threw this one in here because it's more hearty. Like sometimes we don't want more sweets and more fruity stuff. We want something that's going to fill us up. We need protein. Okay. This one has even extra protein and fiber because they put the beans in there, but you could easily do it with the beans. I like to add extra green onions. Okay, so this is one we're gonna make today. So if you've seen the fancy fruit pies that you can get at the store that come in like a little crust with this really great cream filling on it and then all the fruit on top, we can make those at home on regular toast. So I'm going to do this recipe with you guys. Basically, we're gonna make our toast. And I bought fancy bread this time because I know we talk about you don't need to buy fancy bread. It just looks prettier. But since you're all looking at it over the camera, I got the pretty bread. Okay, I want to show you real fast. Some of these fancy breads that have seeds on them and oats and they're brown doesn't mean it's a whole grain. Okay, so we flip it over and we're going to look at the label. Okay. Because there are brands that make this fancy bread and they don't put any whole grains in it and they just color it brown and put oats on the top and say, oh, it's multi-grain. Okay. This one is Dave's Killer Bread. And this is one I don't buy too often because it's expensive, but it is actually whole grains, and it's a ton of whole grains, and it's organic. So this is one that if you were trying to buy a fancy bread for your weekend, this is one that'd be worth your money. If you want to buy a whole grain organic bread on the cheap, Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's is the only place I know where you can buy inexpensive whole grain bread for very inexpensive, like the same as the regular price bread. Sometimes you'll find it on sale at King Soopers. Okay, but for the most everyday one, we're just going to use our regular 100% whole wheat bread. Okay, it just says wheat bread, doesn't mean it's whole. Okay, 100% whole wheat is our whole wheat bread. Okay, this is half the price. It makes a lot more sandwiches, especially if you have little children. Okay, so this is a good everyday bread. Oh, and here's another one of all the mixes that we're gonna do. So after I make some of our toasts, we're gonna make 3 kinds of toast. These are our spice mixes for our either our trail mix or our popcorn. Okay, so here's the Cajun one. I added that to the bottom. We're gonna make the ranch one today. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take down my PowerPoint. If anybody has any questions, I like how you guys are sharing all the recipes. That's wonderful. If you have any other questions, throw them in now. And then Brooke, you can start watching the chat for me. That would be awesome. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so enough label reading. We'll have some fun with the recipes now. But I want to make sure you guys can see well. Brooke, can you spotlight that? I want you to be able to see the food, but not just my stomach. Okay. Oh, I think you spotlighted yourself. Just click remove spotlight.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Play spotlight. Did that do
Oh,
it?
there we go. Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody see okay? Okay, I can't see the chat anymore. So if you guys want to unmute, otherwise chat in, and Brooke, if you have a question, Brooke will read it out loud. Okay. So our first step for whether it's the trail mix or the popcorn, okay, we're gonna make the ranch seasoning. Okay. So for the ranch, we have, I don't know if you guys can see this, so I'll just read it out loud. Dill, freeze-dried chives, these were each $1. Okay, onion powder, garlic powder, and then it calls for salt and pepper, but I found that I didn't even need the extra salt when I made it. So I'm just gonna leave the salt out for now. Okay. We also have, I found in our kitchen, this Hidden Valley Ranch powdered mix. Okay, so when we're looking at labels, I'm going to read some of the ingredients in here. We have maltodextrin, buttermilk, monosodium glutamate, which is our MSG, garlic, onion, lactic acid, citric acid, calcium ceretate, and we have gums. Okay, and some natural flavors. So if we want to avoid the MSG and all the extra salt, okay, this is how we're going to make our own. It's super easy. I'm gonna sit down so you can see me. And not my belly. So half a teaspoon for everything other than the salt and pepper. So half a teaspoon of chives, half a teaspoon of dill, and this totally tastes like ranch. I was so surprised when I tried it. On that list, I'll mail you guys all the list of all the popcorn seasonings, but this one was my favorite when I tried them all. I think Aisha, you said yours was the Cajun one. Okay. So half a teaspoon of everything that isn't salt and pepper, and then only a quarter teaspoon of the salt and pepper. Garlic, I'm gonna go a little easy on. No, onion and garlic, I'm gonna go a little bit less than half. This is strong garlic powder. It's the granulated garlic, so that's almost a quarter teaspoon. This is for 4 cups of popcorn, so you can double it if you're making more. And then we add, what do we usually add to our popcorn? We melt butter all over it, right? And so butter has a lot of saturated fat in it. I've actually switched back from butter back to margarine when I found out they quit using the hydrogen oil for the margarine. And I lost about 7 pounds and I kept it off. FYI. Okay, so instead of melting butter all over the popcorn to get that nice even spray, we're just gonna spray it with a canola oil. And that will like make it more even, and it'll help the seasoning stick to it, okay? If it's a sweet one, because there's a Mexican hot chocolate one on there, and there was another sweet one, I think it was the pumpkin pie one. Instead of cooking spray, you can use powdered sugar, and powdered sugar will also stick to the popcorn. Not as healthy, but balances out with the sweetness. Okay, and then I'm gonna I stirred up my seasonings, add it in, and then shake it, shake it. Okay, when we have the little kids in class doing this, we sing the shake, 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 shake your popcorn or your trail mix, whatever it is. Okay? And kids love that song. If you have little ones, I know most of you guys have older kids, but if you have little ones and you need cooking songs, I have a million cooking songs. Okay, and now you have, whether this is your popcorn or your trail mix, you have is deliciously seasoned. It's all spread out already. I didn't have to shake it very long. Good popcorn with extra flavoring, without salt and without butter. Any questions on that one?
Nope, no questions.
Okay. Right. Before our toast, I have a toaster today. Dun, dun, dun. You can also make toast in your oven, so you don't have to have a toaster oven. Okay, there's a broil setting. A lot of people are afraid of the broil setting. They don't know how to use it correctly. So what you want to do first is turn on broil, whether you have electric or gas. Okay, and usually if you have a gas stove, you'll see under the bottom drawer where you usually put all your pots and pans, you'll see the gas lit under there. Okay, the only time we have to worry about gas is when it's not lit. Okay, if you have the broil on and there is no flames, that's when you want to turn it back off and start over. Okay, but if the flames are going, then you can slide your little pan right under in that bottom drawer under the flames and toast one side, and then flip it over and toast the other side. Okay, if you have an electric oven, it might be on that bottom drawer, but it also might be on the top part of the oven. So when you turn your broil on, you can open up the top part of the oven and look. And if you have an electric broiler in there, you just put your rack up high and you put your toast, your bread on that high rack, and then again, you'll have to flip it, okay? I always have a kid watch with the oven light on when I'm doing toast that way, because especially in that bottom one, it can burn really quickly, okay? My bread. Okay, so we're gonna do our fruit tarts, okay? So we have fruit tarts, okay? And then because I know a lot of folks spend money on this, we're gonna make some super tasty avocado toast. I'm gonna do 2 at a time. I'm gonna start my toasting. Don't be afraid to let it toast well. Don't keep pushing the button and popping it up or else it messes up. I do that all the time. Okay. So for our fruit tart, I have cream cheese. It says a 1/4 cup, okay? But it's really about 1/4 of the package if you're just eyeballing it. And then you want to let this set out ahead of time. So if you want to do this recipe, it's a lot easier if you don't just take the cream cheese right out of the fridge. Okay, 1/4 cup. Okay. Now we have milk. This is oat milk, but you can use any kind of milk. Honey and vanilla. Okay, so 4 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 tablespoons of milk. I think I have way more than that here. Okay, this just helps thin out the cream cheese a little bit and make it more spready. Okay. 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm probably just gonna put 1 in because I don't need too much sweet in mine. Where can we find cheap honey? If we look at the store and a bottle of real honey is $8, where can we get inexpensive honey?
Maybe some in the family trees or dollar stores.
Mm-hmm. And this might not be super noble, but Starbucks, if you're ever there, they always have some little packets of honey. I don't do the KFC honey because I think that's not really honey. I think that's syrup or something in there. Yeah, but if you're ever at a coffee house, grab a couple packs of honey. When I was looking for little packs of honey to last long and to give out to families, I actually found these little tubes of honey already packaged up was cheaper than a bottle of honey. And that was at some random place, Pure One Imports or World Market. They had honey in little packets really cheap. So keep an eye out for good deals no matter where you are. You'll be surprised at where you can find it. So we're gonna keep mashing this until we don't want it to look lumpy. We want it to look really smooth. If you have an electric blender, you can use that as well. This is a super fun one for the kids, again, in the morning. Or for a party, if you're having a bunch of kids over for a party or sleepover, we can cut the fruit that we're gonna use into cute little shapes and they can make cute little designs. Some of the kids who don't like cute, maybe they like scary, you can make scary faces or faces. It doesn't have to be. And for adults, I kind of make mine like mandala. If you're doing a whole pie, it's really nice, but this is a lot healthier than those big fruit tart pies. Okay. So, okay, and this is not one that I put butter on. I like to put my butter on the avocado toast, but with this one, with that extra little bit of milk in there, I think it's moist enough that we don't have to. Okay, and you guys know your kids. Some kids are going to want a lot of this, and some kids only want the very basic layer. Okay. Dun 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 dun. That looks pretty basic. Okay. But we have all the stuff the kids are gonna like. So we have our beautiful little cut up strawberries and blueberries, and you can just make a little design. You can throw bananas on here. Oh, okay. You can throw bananas on here. Anything you can do to make it look super cute. So in the picture you guys will get, there will be little cute ideas. Kids will come up with their own ideas. Okay, so I'm gonna do red, white, and blue, I think. These bananas are already washed, so I'm just gonna cut right through the skin. Okay, I'm not using my claw hands like if I would if the babies were in class with us. Okay, our bananas. And I have some blueberries. Okay, blueberries are a little bit expensive right now, but I'm only see for this recipe. The blueberries add a lot, especially for picky kids, because kids think blueberries are just wonderful. But look at for only six blueberries, they were expensive, but I only had to use 6. I'm getting a little bit of extra nutrients, and the kids are gonna like it a whole lot. So I have my little red, white, and blue fruit toast. Okay, so there's one. I'm gonna put this aside. I'm gonna show you all the toasts at the end. Hold on. Okay, real fast in the chat, if you guys were making fruit tarts, what would you guys add to it? Mango, that sounds good. When you can use those little bags of frozen fruit. So that's what I actually did this weekend when I made this recipe with my kids is I took the frozen fruit out early in the morning and sliced it up. And then by the time they went to put it on their toast, it wasn't too cold. It's easy to slice the fruit when it's frozen. It's not so easy when it defrosts. So I slice it first and then I'm sorry, I'm concentrating on cutting my banana. I slice it first, and then as it defrosts, the kids can put it on their fruit. Okay. Next favorite, toast. Peanut butter banana honey, okay? So this one I do, actually put butter on the bottom of this one. Because to me, the peanut butter is really thick and the butter helps me kind of digest it. Okay. So this is, this butter's been soft because I've had it ready for class, but the English proper way of buttering toast. So even if you have the cold hard butter is just at the smallest angle you can possibly put it on a hard toast. It won't work on a soft toast. You'll tear it up. So on a hard toast, the angle of the knife is gonna be small as you can, and that way you can almost, if the butter is still cold, you can smush it and drag it across. And if you guys talk to my husband, he will make fun of how much I eat toast because I think it's a great snack, especially with a whole grain bread. It's healthier than any other snack I'm going to grab for, and it's so easy and quick. Okay, so not ready for the banana yet. We need our peanut butter. Okay, if you have a very messy child, you can put this honey underneath the peanut butter and it'll soak into the bread. Okay, but then the kids will be like, there's no honey on here. So I like to put the honey on the top on mine, but then it gets sticky everywhere. So you have to eat it really carefully. Okay. So this toast is a hippie favorite that I learned in my young days. Peanut butter banana sandwiches is a big hippie snack. I don't know why, but they all like it. Okay. So I use the half of the banana for each kid. I don't cut up a whole banana. It's not going to fit on the toast. You could smash the banana if you want to, like we did with the cream cheese and stuff. You could smash it and add all kinds of stuff to make it yummier. Boom, boom. Okay. Raisins would be good on here. Cinnamon would be good on here. Okay, and then I just do a light drizzle. And to me, it looks like it is missing something. It looks like it needs some raisins or something on here, but okay, bam. Basic peanut butter banana toast. Okay. We're gonna do, actually we'll do 2 more. I have our nutritional yeast too. Are there any vegans in the crowd? I can't see the chat, so Brooke, if you wanna shout out any vegans.
I don't see any unless mine aren't going through, but
Oh,
we'll
Oh, I
I'm
see.
see.
not,
People
I'm
don't-
not vegan, but my daughter's celiac.
okay.
Jesse, I'm a wannabe vegan. It's a goal in life.
It's a golden life. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to show you our nutritional yeast. So this is, where'd it go? Again, things that we used to only be able to find at a health food store, you can now find at Walmart and King Soopers. So nutritional yeast, okay? Vegans, if vegans do not get B vitamins, if you do not eat any animal products whatsoever, you need some B, I think it's B6 and B12, okay? So this is a really good source for our vegans to get those vitamins that only usually come from animal products, because this is yeast. It comes from the bacteria in the yeast, okay? Sounds gross, but it's actually really good for us, okay? So our last 2 toasts are gonna be our avocado toast. Okay, and our nutritional yeast. Okay, so somebody mentioned this. It's everything but the bagel. So my boss gave me this for my work anniversary, and it's good, but it also just looks really cool on top of your avocado toast. It has what does it have in it? Sesame seeds, sea salt, minced garlic, onion, black sesame seeds, and poppy seeds. So you could get the same look by just sprinkling seeds on there, but if you're ever at Trader Joe's, that's just kind of cool.
Rachel said that smoked salmon or cream cheese and everything bagel sounds so good. Oh my
That
gosh.
does sound really. Yeah, so smoked salmon's traditional one. Bagels and lox, right? Again, I'm buttering my toast. This butter is super melty, so it's almost like more butter than I need. Oh, and I brought this to show you. So I compared the ingredients. So when I left butter, my LDL was high. I left butter just a month ago. I lost 6 to 7 pounds in a month. Okay, and I got this one, Smart Balance, because it's so smart and it's so healthy, and it costs 3 times as much as Country Crop. Okay, I compared the ingredient list, exact same ingredients as Country Crop. Okay, so you don't have to spend more money to buy this. Okay, you used to, because they used to make Country Crop out of that hydrogenated oil, these trans fats that we don't want. But now it's just good old saturated fat. Still, we want to limit it, but it's not the end of the world. Okay.
Is it soft butter?
This one is a little bit soft, but it's just really soft right now because I left it out before class while we're getting ready. So it's a little bit easier to spread. I didn't get to show you my mad cold butter spreading skills. They're pretty good. Okay, so I'm gonna do our avocado last. Okay, so a little something, I'm like, what else can you throw on your avocado toast? It doesn't just have to be avocado. So I got some radishes. I also really like sprouts. I don't buy sprouts a lot, but when I am at the farmer's market, I like to support the lady who sells sprouts there. So that's when I have sprouts, is if they go to the farmer's market. I'm cutting these up real thin. Okay, you can't really see it, but I do have my claw going on over here when my thumb is really holding onto that really tightly. But that bottom piece I can't really get. I'll just eat that later.
Jesse, what is the comparison of real butter versus Country Crock?
Okay, about 8 grams of fat per tablespoon. So it's a lot. So this one is made with olive oil. So this has about 2 grams of saturated fat. I think the Country Crock had 2 also. And butter has about, I think it was 9 grams of fat, 8 or 9 grams per tablespoon, okay, of saturated fat. So with our, it doesn't matter what kind of fat, with any kind of fat, we are really going to, fat has double the calories as all the other foods, as protein and carbohydrates has 4 grams. And fat will have 9 grams. So you're getting that saturated fat, but you're also getting a lot of extra calories in their butter. Pumpkin butter. Pumpkin butter is delicious, delicious. Okay, I'm going to show you two ways to do the avocado for the avocado toast. You guys probably know at least one of these ways, but some of you might not know both. Okay. I was in class last night and someone didn't know this one. Okay. So this is the one that our chef teaches, and I think a lot of you may know this. We're going to hold the avocado in the skin. This isn't one we'd let the babies do. We'd let the big kids do it maybe. Okay, and just slice in until we feel that rind on the bottom. Okay. And then I can determine how thick I want my slices for my toast are. Okay. And since we're all at our own homes, I'm not cooking for everyone in class, I'll show you how I do it at home. Okay, if I was in class, I would use a spoon. When I'm at home, I have clean hands, best kitchen tool ever, clean hands, and I just scoop these out with my thumb. Okay, and then I lay them across. Boom. Okay, but now that my thumb's getting dirty, actually. Okay. At home, I wouldn't care. So you can lay these all out. This is a really ripe avocado. So do I have my avocado bag still? I was just going to tell everybody real fast, if you go to look at the avocados and they're not ripe or they cost $1 million, go to the bag, the section that has all the fruits in the bags, like more quantity of them. And so you can almost always find cheaper avocados. You just have to look in a different spot in the store than you would normally look. Okay. So here's one fancy way. If you want your avocado in little slices, you can slice it that way. The other way that I do when I'm making guacamole and such, so you guys might know this trick. This is, again, not one for the kids. Just slap in that pit with your knife and pull that out. Okay. And then, now I can't get to my knife. So then instead of slicing and scooping the avocado, and this is what I do when I make guacamole, but it's good for avocado toast, I'm just literally going to hold the outside of the skin and squeeze it. Okay, squeeze it out. This way you get all of it. You get that really yummy dark stuff that's close to the skin. And then it's already mostly mashed for you, so you don't have to mash it. Okay, so this way, it's mostly mashed. If I wanted to spread out, if I had guests or something and then put the sheet, I can make this avocado go a lot farther by smashing it up, adding some cottage cheese or maybe a little bit of mayonnaise or something that would go good with it, and to make it a spread and make it a little bit thinner spread. Okay, but for now I'm going to use this fancy one. Okay, I'm going to throw my radishes on there. The radishes might look better on the spreaded avocado. Okay. Excuse me. I'm using my hands here. Okay. So to make it look cool, I'm gonna shake the everything bagel stuff on it. It just makes it look like fancy if you wanted fancy avocado toast at a restaurant. But my favorite salt-free, like, let me make sure this is salt-free. Okay, no, this is not salt-free, but it's low sodium. It's my favorite avocado seasoning. Okay, they don't make it very often anymore. It's called a spike. Okay, and this is so good on avocados. It is delicious. Okay, so they have it at King Supers, but only in the box. Okay, they don't have it in the shaker anymore. Okay, you might be able to find it like on Amazon or something, but this is my favorite avocado seasoning of all time. Okay, write it down. It's delicious. Okay, so I can't have anything avocado without a little bit of spike on there. Since they don't make the shaker anymore, I tend to just pour it in my hand and sprinkle it because I think it's more even that way. You could do like a teaspoon and pull out a teaspoon, but I like to put it, and honestly, I should have put this directly on my avocado. Okay. But it'll go good with the radishes too. Okay. So blam. Okay. Super simple last recipe for toast. This is not even like really a recipe. I'm just showing you for the hopeful vegans out there. Okay. I'm going to do this while it's hot. So I probably should have done this earlier. I'm just going to spread my butter on there. Okay, well, it's real hot. And then I'm going to sprinkle my nutritional yeast on the top. Okay. And this can go on kind of thick. Okay. Because this isn't hot, it's not melting. But if the toast was hot and the butter was hot, this nutritional yeast would melt right into the butter. Okay. And it makes almost like, it tastes almost cheesy to me. It's like it's a salty, tangy, creamy thing when you mix this with the butter. Okay. How much B vitamins in here? There's 1.7 milligrams of B6, and that's the one that the vegans really need, and 2.2 of the B12. So really good for you. Okay. Nutritional yeast for the aspiring vegans is also, you can mix this with coconut milk, okay, and make a nacho cheese sauce alternative, because it is so salty and cheesy tasting that when you mix it in with the coconut milk, if you want to make like enchiladas or something that you have to pour like the cheese onto, nutritional yeast makes it really good. Okay. So how long did that take? What time are we at? 7:08. That only took about 10 minutes to make 4 different kinds of yummy toasts. Okay. So this is a snack, like maybe these ones the kids would like a little bit better. And then maybe us adults, we would want these ones, but you can make one for everybody in your family in like 10 minutes, whatever one they want, or let them make it even better. Okay. My last snack thing that I want to talk about. Okay. Let you guys stop looking at my dirty dishes. Okay. Is boba. So because you guys have older kids, I don't know if any of you guys have girls, but my pre-tween girl, she is all about the boba. Okay, and she wants to go get boba every weekend, and it costs about $6 for a thing of boba. Okay, so at the Asian market. Okay, these are black tapioca pearls. Okay, so for the same price that I can buy one boba, I bought in this pack, we've made about 12 so far. Okay, so it's super easy to make. Okay, you buy this stuff it's the Asian market on Platte Avenue. Okay, you're going to boil a whole quart of water, so that's 4 cups of water, so that's like a small saucepan full. Okay, when that water is super boiling, you add just I think it's a 1/4 cup of boba. It says on the package. I can't remember if it's 1 cup or a 1/4 cup. Okay, 1 cup for every 10 cups of water. Okay, so if you were doing that smaller saucepan, it'd be a 1/4 cup. Okay, and then you boil it for 5 minutes. Okay, and then you let it sit for 5 minutes. And then once you do that, you're gonna rinse it and strain it and rinse it. Okay. And it should be soft at that point after it's set for 5 minutes. And there is ways to make popping boba. It's a very like weird scientific process that I looked at. You can look it up on Google. It looked like nearly impossible and I wasn't going to attempt it. Okay. And what was strange enough, popping boba is like little gelatin balls instead of tapioca pearls. Like tapioca is kind of a more natural thing. They have little gelatin balls and then they inject flavoring into the balls. I don't know if you can buy popping boba at the Asian. I think you have to like make your own popping boba. I think it's like a specialty thing. You might be able to find it on Amazon. Okay, and then we just put it in whatever we would be making for our kids. So I know they have like you can make it with milk tea, so a really yummy tea. At the Asian market, they have that green matcha tea, which I like a lot, but it's really not good for you. It's mostly sugar. But you could just make a regular green tea and put that in there, or you can make a smoothie and put the boba in the bottom of the smoothie as well. The yucca one is right. Okay, so try it with your kids. It's a fun activity. It saved you money and you'd be cool again. Okay. I'm looking through the chat real fast. Massive avocados in Puerto Rico. Yeah. So these avocados that I found that were in the bag were the bigger Hass avocados. So there's more meat in them, and they were actually the same price or cheaper for the bag than the regular avocado. Okay. Did anyone, I wasn't looking at the chat. Did anyone put in any more toasts that they like? Oh, so someone says they do have the popping boba at the Asian market. So, was it expensive? Because this whole bag was like $6 and it's lasted me forever. Okay, so avocado toast and popping boba. If we try to buy that for our kids every weekend, we can go broke. But we can make it ourselves. Okay. So I wanted to put this one up here so you guys can look at this a little bit more. The coconut curry one was surprisingly very good. Doritos was like too good, like that was a flavor explosion. The ones with the cinnamon were not my favorite because I like cinnamon cooked a little bit more myself, but some people like it. Cinnamon and sugar is always a good combination, and when we make our own cinnamon sugar toast, we can control the sugar. I have to just Okay, so we talked about making your own snacks instead of packaged snacks. So we guys think about all of those weird ingredients that just kept going on and on and on in a snack that's something we're just trying to feed our kids really quickly. It'd be so much easier to just grab a fruit or a vegetable than to try and navigate those ingredient lists. Sometimes when we can't read the ingredient, it's probably bad for us, but sometimes it's also a vitamin or mineral. So don't always assume that just because it's a strange word, you don't know what it is, that it's bad for you. Okay. When we buy in whole, we're going to save money. I'm not sure that I had an example of that today. Well, the popcorn. So think about one box of microwave popcorn. So it comes like, I bought one for like, I had 3 packs of popcorn in it. And it was like $2. The whole bag of popcorn is $2 and it lasts me like first of all, you get a lot more per bag and you get tons of them. Okay. We didn't talk about model healthy snacking. So this might be, if someone has any experience with this one, maybe you can unmute for a second. Okay. Have you ever had the experience where your kid all of a sudden wants to try something on your plate and you're totally surprised because it's a super healthy thing that they would normally go for? Candace is nodding her head. Anybody else? I can't see everybody at the same time. I have to click through. Maybe. Sarah says maybe. Sandy, looks like you said yes. Oh, hi Kim. I'm seeing all your faces now that I'm scrolling through here. Hi Kim, you have great feedback. Okay. Yeah, so it happened to me with my kids with salad. Okay, I could never like put a salad on the table when my kids were like little and then want to eat it. But there was a point in my life where I decided if I'm going to go out to eat, I'm always going to get a salad. So that way I always know that what I'm eating doesn't have weird ingredients, that it's healthy. Okay. And when my kids, I stopped cooking salads at home. No one else was into it. My husband likes soup. So when my kids saw me eating salads at restaurants every week, all of a sudden they wanted salads and they started eating half of my salad that I order for my dinner as their appetizer because it would come first. And then they start ordering their own salads. So now when my kids, they order a side, if the choice is soup or salad or French fries, they want salad. And it's just surprising to me. So that really came through from modeling the healthy behavior. Okay, we've talked in our other classes. How would you feel if someone told you you had to eat that one thing that you don't like? Is that going to want to make you eat it more? Is that going to make you like it and grow up and like it? You know, seaweed is very healthy. So seaweed's a good one. Yeah, that's one you can model too. Yeah, so force does not work with the children. It just doesn't work. And even if you're trying to be nice and not forceful, you can say like, oh, but look at this has, you know, this has zucchini in it. You didn't even know there was a zucchini in it. Don't tell them that. If they ate it and they didn't know there was zucchini in it and you're having struggles, like combative struggles about eating your vegetables, don't try to rub it in. That doesn't work either. Okay, so we're just gonna sneak it in as long as we can, and then once that control phase is over, then you can mention, oh yeah, this has zucchini, you want to try it? But when it's in that heated moment when they're about like 3 or 4 and you want them to eat it and they don't want to eat it, force is not going to help. Okay, so modeling is better. Letting them, if you can, leave it on their plate and try it again another time is fine. Okay, when we are going to buy packaged foods, we're going to read the labels. So we're going to look at that 20% or that 5%. Okay, so the key things we like and the key things that we don't like. I'm going to go through the chat a little bit. Oh, we're back on boba. This chat moves very quickly. My picky eater actually liked. Okay, hold on. I have to make it big. I'm sorry, you guys. Oh, so we have some picky eaters liking salmon. Salmon one that I've tried, and I liked salmon, but it's not my favorite. So I tell my kids, like, if something isn't your favorite, it's okay. Not everything has to be your favorite. We can just eat it anyway. Sushi, yes. Making sushi is so much fun. It's so easy. And the kids love to do it, and it's a lot cheaper as well. Zucchinis and mushrooms sauteed. Chimichurri sauce, so dips and sauces. Again, dips, kids can have that little bit of extra fat or whatever that's in the dip. If it's going to make them eat their vegetables, go for it. So someone has one of each. Matt and Christy, that happens. We have one who likes them and one who doesn't. Let that older one just model that behavior for the child, keep modeling it for them. And then, you know, just wait, you know, play the waiting game. or sneak it in. Those are the two things that work the best. If she doesn't love veggies, you can try fruit. So fruit has a lot of the same nutrients that vegetables do. And it does have more sugar, but at least the kids are getting some of those antioxidants and vitamins when they eat fruit as well. So I think we are done a little bit early. I think I had some resources to share. Oh, I said no survey is on the last slide, but Deborah has a survey for you, so you can't. I won't make you do one of our surveys, but Deborah has one. So again, all the recipes, Cooking Matters recipes on our website. Okay. There's also tons of YouTube videos about how to save money, how to handle picky eaters, that kind of stuff. Moving on me. Okay, for all of those who said you were hungry during class. So tomorrow is our first open enrollment, so anyone can join free cooking class for families. So this is for the if you guys have 8 years old or older, okay? If you have a very capable 6 or 7 year old, I would welcome them. You guys know your kids. If you have a 6-year-old who still just wants to run around, maybe not the place for using the big knives and things like that. Okay. So if you are interested in this, I will throw that in the chat. It's not going to be a 6-week class. It's going to be a 4-week class. So it will just be the month of October, every Tuesday, 5:30 to 7:30. And that includes dinner. So you're like, oh, that's right at dinner time. I can't do that. Have a little snack, have some avocado toast, and then come to class and we'll feed you more. Okay. Let me pull that up and get that in the chat real fast. Everybody's been pretty quiet tonight.
Except for me.
Oh, I'm sending that to everybody. Okay. Quick question, is meat sticks a healthy snack? Okay. I would break out a label for you guys to decide for yourselves. Unfortunately, if you're going to look at the amount of salt in there, okay, the amount of fat in there, it's probably not going to be your best bet. Okay, even sandwich meat has a lot of salt, and it also, they put something in it called like nitrates. They put preservatives in there that are not good for us. Okay, so this is really sad to hear, I know, but sandwich meat is one of those top 10 like cancer causing, okay, because of those preservatives and those nitrates in there. Okay, I know it sucks because sandwich meat is convenient. I use it too. But if you ever can like roast a chicken and shave some of that off and make your sandwich with that chicken, or have your roast that you made for the week and cut it off of there, that's the safer bet. But yeah, the things like the Slim Jims are not so good. Maybe a plain beef jerky. That's going to be more expensive because that's real meat that they're using and drying and curing themselves. It takes a lot of time, so that's going to be more expensive. But things like Slim Jims are definitely not a healthy snack. Yummy, not a lot of sugar. If you're diabetic, it might be a better bet. Okay, I want to give my good kids good protein. What you recommend for busy moms? Tuna, canned salmon, and tuna fish. Greek yogurt. Okay, Greek yogurt can go in those smoothies. And then our trail mix with our nuts and seeds. Okay, so I do, someone threw in there the rotisserie chicken. I love the rotisserie chickens. Like so some Cooking Matters doesn't promote them because of the salt and stuff on the outside, but I just pull that skin off my rotisserie chicken and I give it to my dog. Boom, because that's where most of that salt and all those extra ingredients are. So I pull the skin off, give it to my dog, and then I just use the meat from the rotisserie chicken. If anyone ever asks you what you want for Christmas, there is right now at the Walmart on Platte and it's kind of hidden in there like Shelton. There is a bunch of air fryers and there's one air fryer that has a rotisserie in it on clearance right now. So it's still expensive. It's like $60. But if someone says, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? I want a rotisserie. I can make my own rotisserie chicken and make it healthy. For our Thanksgiving class, I was thinking about cooking a turkey or a chicken or showing you guys how to in the oven. So if you guys want to, we can just go ahead and do chicken since we're not together. I don't have to try and eat a turkey by myself. Or if you want to learn how to do the very basic no frills turkey, we can do that one as well. And chicken will be the same thing. A good value for fat to look for a snack. What should it be under? Okay. Different kinds of fats. Okay. What is the good fat? Anybody? Or let's start. What is the bad fat? Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Someone said avocado. That's a hint. Okay. Unsaturated is also better. Saturated is bad. Unsaturated, good. Okay. So think about, someone said avocado. What other healthy fats have you heard of? Seeds, oils, like olive oil is really good. Almonds, nuts. Okay. So we're looking at avocados, nuts, oils, seeds. Are those plant-based or meat-based? Plant-based. Okay. Are they solid at room temperature or liquid at room temperature? Well, not the nut, but the oils or the avocado oil. Okay. So plant-based sources that are liquid at room temperature are going to be our unsaturated fats. Okay. Those are better for us. Okay. Saturated fats are still natural, right? Think about like butter, lard, the things that are solid at room temperature that come from animal sources. Okay. Those are going to be just okay for us, not the best. Okay. If they're naturally occurring in our protein, that's better, but they're not something that we want to do every day. Okay. There is one fat that we want to avoid at all costs. Who knows what that one is? We talked about it earlier. The government said it's illegal, the trans fats. Okay. So, or when you said a good amount, trans fats, 0. Okay. A good amount of trans fats is none in your diet at all. Okay. A good amount of a saturated fat would be no more than the size of your thumb. Okay. So cheese, butter, that kind of stuff. Okay. That's your serving. You can have that much fat with your food. Okay. Unsaturated fats like olive oil, you could probably drink olive oil and you probably like be really good for you. I don't know. I just know that olive oil is super good for you, but that we still want to follow this thumb guideline because remember we talked about fat has a lot of calories in it. Okay. So those fats they're better for your heart. They're not going to clog up your arteries. Okay. But they, I'm sorry, Jerry, were you trying to say something? It looked like you were talking at the screen. Oh no, okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so and the size of our fat, but we can have more of those unsaturated fats. Okay. Megas, it gets really complicated because there's so many kinds of fat that there's omega-3s and omega-6s. You want to have your ratio, you want 3 times more omega-3s than you want omega-6s. Okay, Americans get plenty of omega-6. Okay, that's in all our vegetable oils and all our things like that. Okay, what we don't get is our omega-3s. Okay, omega-3s are in our fish and our olive oil. Okay, and those ones are good to add to your diet. Okay, they're in flaxseed, they're in hemp seeds, they're in a lot of different things. Okay. So Chelm's turkey has 1 gram of saturated fat. Just check out your sodium, Rachel. Check the sodium, make sure it's not too high. And 290 milligrams of sodium, that's pretty high. Okay, if we remember that most of the sodium that we need in our diet can come from eating like regular whole food. There's sodium in our food already, and that's about how much we need. Adding sodium is not really necessary. That being said, some of us can handle sodium more than others. Okay, when we're younger, we can handle it better. Certain races can handle it better. I do not handle sodium well. I eat too much sodium and my blood pressure gets dangerously high. Okay. In Asia, they eat 5,000 milligrams of sodium every day and it's no problem, you know, so it just kind of depends. But if you ever start having problems with your blood pressure, maybe lay off the beef jerky. So the sodium limit, I think for a day, our sodium, we want to keep it about 1,000, with 2,000 being the max. So 290, that would be like about 1/3 of your sodium for the day in a snack. Okay, and thinking that we have plenty of sodium in our food already, we might not need that extra sodium. A good exception is people who are feeling maybe kind of lightheaded, especially the teenagers, women, like young women, teenagers, I don't know if that's the right term, tend to, they're something about with their water weight changing is a sodium. They can be low in sodium and start to feel lightheaded and dizzy. And so I had a neurologist tell my daughter to eat salty stuff every once in a while, but then also drink more water. Off subject, but what can bring down liver enzymes? Okay, I am not a doctor, okay? So I can't really answer that question. I know I can tell you some things that are good for your liver. Less fat is good for your liver. So a lot of times we have problems with our livers because we are eating too much fat. Drinking a lot of water is really good for your liver. Drinking green tea and milk thistle is good for your liver. But the reason why your liver enzymes are off, it could be like a bunch of different reasons, and you're really gonna want to talk to your doctor about that. Yeah, lemon water is good for you. Lemon water helps with everything. So they talk about detoxing, but we also has antioxidants in it. So those things that fight cancer, any kind of citrus. So like there's certain, the vitamins are A, C, and E. If you remember ACE, those are all our antioxidants. Vitamin A and vitamin E give off one neutralizing molecule per molecule of vitamin A or E, and vitamin C gives off 2. So it's like double antioxidant. Okay. And we were talked about, we can't get our vitamin C from our orange juice unless we're making it frozen and drinking it right away, or freshing it, getting it squeezed fresh. Because every time we open up that juice, vitamin C touches the air, those antioxidants are gone every time that vitamin C touches the air. Good questions. You guys have good questions. I studied nutrition for so long. I love being able to talk about it. I like recipes too, but you guys have great, you guys look like you have lots of good recipe ideas already. Would a juice pump help less vitamin C escape? Like pumping the juice into something? It would, because then when you open it, like there's no air going back in there. Amazon has them. I didn't know about, I've never heard of that before. Why do I get migraines when I eat certain fake stuff like Walmart Pop-Tarts? Okay, again, not a doctor. And I don't know what's in Walmart Pop-Tarts, but I know I used to get headaches when I would go to, so the salt. So when I would go to this certain Asian, it was a vegan Asian restaurant, so they didn't actually use meat, they used all this fake stuff. It wasn't really real food, tastes delicious, good for the environment, good for the animals, but I would get this band headache right around here, all the way around my head. And it felt like I had a rubber band around my head and it hurt so bad. And so that is actually not a migraine headache. That is, it's not a tension headache. It's kind of like caused from the osmosis. So too much sodium and preservatives. Yeah. So there's too much salt in there and not drinking enough. I never drank enough water. It was causing those headaches. And so when I realized that, and when I would go eat there, I would prepare by drinking a lot of water first so I could enjoy the food that I liked. But I don't know if that's why your headache. But pretty much if we think about our bodies, so millions, well, not millions, thousands of years, humans have been evolving to eat the things that are growing on our planet, okay? And now all of a sudden we come into a world where we're not, our bodies aren't trying to hang on to every calorie we can find because we never have food. We have an excess of food and we have all kinds of ingredients in our food that our bodies don't know what to do with. So the better we go with the whole food, the better. But it, not every man-made ingredient is bad either. So we're getting pretty close to that time. I don't really have any more subject materials. Taylor was going to teach her class today and she got sick. So I kind of got all this together last minute. So we're a little bit done early. But if you guys have more questions, we can put more questions in there. Or Aisha, if you're there, you want to?
I am. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Yeah, no problem.
Let me see. I know that Brooke has been in the chat too. I don't see any other questions that haven't been answered. And so do you have any last comments before I take attendance?
No, if anyone, for our next class, we're going to do the healthy Thanksgiving. And so we're going to do some of Thanksgiving favorites, just like redone, like healthier, and hopefully it's still really good. And someone said, yes, thank you. If you guys care, if we do a chicken or a turkey, you can put that in the chat too. You like vote chicken or turkey, and then I'll look at the chat later and see, once we have.